Alright, so now I'll show you some basics of creating and moving files and directories in the file system. So for starters, I'm going to make a directory using this mkdir command. Then you point to the name of the directory you want to create. So I'll call it example. Then I will cd into it. And I'll just go ahead and I'll make a couple more directories. So make one called dir1, one called dir2. There you have it. So now I will just make an empty file using this touch command. Do touch and then the name of the file you want to make. And that just creates an empty file, which can be useful for testing permissions and for examples like this. So let's say I want to move that example.txt file I just created into directory 1. Then I would use the move command, where you first point to a file or a directory that you want to move, and then the second argument is the location you want to move it to. So I'll do move example.txt to dir1. And just as a side note, right now I'm using tab completes. That's how I was able to type that example.txt so quickly. It's very useful in Bash if you are trying to point to a file or whatever, to use just type tab and it'll autofill it if it can. So like say ls that knows that there's two dirs that start with dir, plus dir1 knows that there's only one file in it. So now let's say I also want to copy that file, so I don't want to delete it, but I want to make a copy of it. Then you use the cp command. So I'll do cp directory 1 / example.txt, and I'm going to copy that file into directory 2. And then if I list the contents of directory 2, you can see the file is in there. You can also copy directories in a similar manner. So with this cp-r, so let's say I want to do cp/r dir1, call it copy dir. You can see it has all the same contents. Similarly, you can use the rsync command to copy files or directories. So let's say I want to rsync that example file just to, then you can see it works very similar to CP. Main difference, at least in this case, is you can also use is that when you're doing the recursive option to copy a directory, use this A flag. So rsync A1 rsync dir. And then I'm just going to clean some stuff up, so I'll remove a couple of those directories. You can do that using the R command, or R flag rather, as an argument to the RM command. So I'm going to do rmr rsync dir, and we'll get rid of the copied dir as well. Okay, so I'm also going to add in just here note about the normal rm command. So if you don't use that R flag, you can just use it to delete a file. So for example here, If I want to delete this file called rsync file, do rm, then rsync file, and see it's gone. Also, just something that's pretty useful in the command line is the asterisk character, which is used to denote a wildcard. So for example, if I want to run the ls command on all directories in this directory, I would do ls wildcard, matches it with the two directories that are in here, and also the directory I'm in. So it starts with all these, dir1, dir2, or you can use this, for example, ls dir, and this will only match the directories that start with dir, as I put there. So that's really useful if you want to run a command on, say, a large number of, if you have a lot of .text files that you want to do the same thing to all of them. There are a lot of instances where that comes in handy.